very much, ladies and gentlemen. What can I tell you about me? I have a 10-minute elevator speech, and I'm going to sell myself to you right now. So what am I? I'm limited government. Just so you know, where I stand on every single issue is I'm limited government. On the economic side and fiscal side, and also on the social and civil liberty side. We are currently $23 trillion in debt. We have a regulatory state, a surveillance state, and a police state. Every aspect of every person's life is now monitored, regulated, and taxed by faceless bureaucrats in Washington. I want to change that. I believe in this thing called freedom and liberty. We listen to politicians today, and just about every one of them has a grand scheme. They think they are smart enough to regulate the economy for 300 million people. No one's that smart. I'm not that smart. When you listen to my opponents in this race, they're going to be telling you about their grand schemes. And now, if you just vote for them, they can make soybeans cheaper. They can make steel cheaper. They can make kids smarter. If you just vote for these people, everything will be all fine and dandy. Well, like I said, when we started, we're $23 trillion in debt. We've got a regulatory state, a surveillance state, a police state. Every aspect of every person's life is now regulated, monitored, and taxed. This has got to change, and this is what I bring to the table. I want to go to Washington, not so that I may regulate you. I don't want to regulate your soybean prices. I don't want to regulate your schools. I don't want to regulate your cotton, your farms. I want to regulate Washington. Washington is what needs regulated. I am running as a libertarian. Now, my opponents will tell you that if you vote for a libertarian, it's a wasted vote. Well, here's what I say. Again, we're $23 trillion in debt, $21 trillion in debt. We've got a regulatory state, a police state, and a surveillance state. All of this was brought to you by Republicans and Democrats. Every bit of it. There's no one else we can blame. This debt is squarely in their hands. So what I bring to the table is fiscal responsibility. I'm asking you, let me go to Washington, send me to Washington, and let me make my limited government arguments my fiscal responsibility. Let me make those arguments to the other U.S. senators, and let's see if we can get a handle on this debt. This debt that we have is unsustainable. There is no way we can continue this rate of spending year after year after year, decade after decade, generation after generation. It is unsustainable. And someone's got to make the argument to stop it. And I think I'm that guy. When my opponent in this race, when he was first elected, the national debt was at $7 trillion. In 11 short years, it has ballooned to $21 trillion. That's not fiscal responsibility. That's the opposite of fiscal responsibility. So in my 10-minute elevator speech where I sell myself to you, what you need to know about me is I am a fiscal hawk. I am a 100% strict constitutionalist. No exceptions ever for any reason. We won't always agree on every issue, but I promise you one thing, I promise you the truth. And this is the thing too about voting outside the box. You know, I've been married to the same woman for 32 years. We don't agree on everything, we can't. It's impossible, it's unrealistic to expect to agree with someone 100% of the time. You're gonna find things that you disagree with me on. Well, we agree on basic principles. And if your basic principles are limited government, constitutional government, fiscal responsibility, if those are important to you, then I'm your guy. I also want to say one thing. If you vote for same old, you're going to get same old, same old. This is not rocket science. If you like where we're at, keep voting the same way. But if you want change, if you want fiscal responsibility, then you're going to have to vote outside your comfort zone, and you're going to have to vote for something different. And that is what I bring to the table. I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to sum up by saying this. Every other politician that walks up here, ask them that question. I want you to listen to them. They're going to tell you about their grand schemes for you and how they can do things for you. Well, when you hear that, just know that it costs money. And what they're saying is, I'm actually going to put you deeper into debt. I'm going to put your grandchildren deeper into debt. That's what they're saying. So unless they're willing to reduce the size, scope, and role of government, vote for someone else. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Danny Bedwell, and I'm running for the U.S. Senate.